JBN, we keep you informed. 6 persons murdered across Jamaica, 5 in SOEs. At least 6 persons were killed across sections of Jamaica between Tuesday and early Wednesday morning. 5 of the homicides, which include a double murder in Westmoreland, occurred in areas that are under states of public emergency. In Westmoreland, 18-year-old Brianna Carr and 49-year-old security guard Vanley Carr were shot and killed by unknown assailants about 9:02 p.m. on Tuesday in Good Hope District in Negril. In St. Andrew South, mechanic Raymond Buckeridge, 37, of Seaview Gardens in St. Andrew, was shot and killed by unknown assailants along Hunts Bay Lane in Hunts Bay about 11:40 a.m. on Tuesday. 29-year-old sales representative Damian Orlando Brown of Lines Road St. Andrew address was shot and killed about 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday in Duane Park. In Hanover, bus driver Ryan McKenzie, otherwise Tall Boss, 31 of Silver Spring, Westmoreland, was shot and killed by unknown assailants about 12:30 p.m. on Tuesday on the compound of the Rhodes Hall High School in Hanover. In St. Andrew North, an unidentified male was shot and killed about 12:10 a.m. Wednesday along Reddles Road in St. Andrew. Kingston man charged following gun seizure. A Kingston man is scheduled to appear in the gun court on Friday, March 6, after he was charged with illegal possession of a gun and illegal possession of ammunition on Tuesday. He is 23-year-old Rashim Reed, otherwise called Finney, unemployed of Text Lane in Kingston. The Central Police report that about 3:25 p.m. Reed's house was searched and a 9mm pistol and a 25 9mm rounds of ammunition were found. He was subsequently arrested and charged. St. Anne woman stabbed to death in her home. The body of a 61-year-old woman was found with multiple stab wounds on Sunday morning. The deceased has been identified as Maisie Lynn Bailey, otherwise known as Dons. It is reported that Bailey's son went to her Glasgow St. Anne home to check on her when he stumbled upon the horrifying scene. He found his mother in her bedroom lying in a pool of blood with what appeared to be a wound to the head. Subsequently, she was rushed to the St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital where she was pronounced dead. Bailey reportedly lived alone. It's unclear as to whether she was attacked on Saturday evening or early Sunday morning. The St. Anne police are investigating. Man accused of killing St. Catherine farmer in 2017 freed. Audley Duvall, who was described by the police as one of Jamaica's most wanted criminals in 2017, has been freed of murder. Duvall, 38, was freed by Justice Lorna Shelly-Williams in the Home Circuit Court following a no-case submission by his attorneys Peter Champagnie QC and Kemar Robinson. He and another man were accused of the shooting death of Craig Gray on August 16, 2016 at his farm in Coolie District in Bog Walk, St. Catherine. The witness in the case reportedly gave evidence that the men wore masks and as such he was unable to see their faces. He subsequently testified that he saw the faces of the accused and that he previously denied seeing his face because he was afraid. He also reportedly testified that he was able to see his face because of a light from a pig pen. This was reportedly contradicted by photos from the crime scene and the evidence of the scene of crime investigator who testified that he did not see a light in the pig pen. At the end of the prosecution's case, the judge agreed with the defense that the witness evidence was unreliable and instructed the jury to return a formal verdict of not guilty. Whitehall crime hurts basic school attendance, says principal. Principal Regina Rosetta Hansen, who has taught hundreds of students over 30 years at the Collins Close Basic School in the Whitehall Avenue area, says the community is in its worst state ever. Attendance at her school, which is located at 1B Plum Lane off Whitehall Avenue, has been affected by the ongoing crime plaguing the St. Andrew community. She did not disclose precise figures. She laments that the scourge of violence was also impacting the behavior of students. The children are so unmanageable. They have no ears, and as small as they are, no respect. Never in all my years have I seen it this way, said Rosetta Hansen, who taught the parents of some of the same students who now attend her school. Some of the kids I have now, their parents passed through my hands. I have taught also teachers, lawyers, nurses, and policemen, she said. On Monday, the school's annual sports day was hit by a low turnout that has been blamed on the spike in crime in surrounding communities. Some of the students went there because their parents were afraid. The students are from Red Hills Road, Mannings Hill Road, Park Lane, 100 Lane, said Rosetta Hansen. My understanding is that there's some disagreement. The latest I heard is the murder of a man in a barrel, and some parents were scared. The murder that she's referring to occurred on Sunday at the entrance to 60 Whitehall Avenue. The body of a man identified as Kokos was found in a barrel in a garbage pile. The corpse was found about 1:40 a.m. The police are investigating whether he was killed elsewhere and his body dumped at the location. 4 days prior, 19-year-old David Anthony Johnson and the 20-year-old carpenter Shamari Anderson were gunned down by unknown assailants on Cameron Lane, which is a few blocks from Plum Lane. Up to last Saturday, the St. Andrew North Division, in which the community falls, recorded 22 murders, a more than 200% increase over the corresponding period when 6 people were killed. St. Andrew North has recorded the most murders of all 19 police divisions since the start of the year. Yesterday, a massive police military operation was conducted throughout the division. The operation was aimed at quelling the ongoing violence. St. James bus driver charged with rape. 40-year-old Jeffrey Gordon, a bus driver of Montego Bay St. James, has been charged with the rape of a teen girl. Gordon was arrested and charged last Thursday and is to appear before the St. James Parish Court. The police report that a statement was recorded from the alleged victim in the presence of a school official, in which it was alleged that the accused had sexual intercourse with the teen against her will on multiple occasions between February and May of 2019 in sections of Trelawney. An investigation was launched and the accused was arrested and charged. He remains in police custody. Cruise ship with patient in isolation denied docking at Ocho Rios. A MSC Meraviglia cruise ship that arrived in Ocho Rios, St. Anne from Miami yesterday morning has been ordered to remain at sea over health concerns. The decision was taken after it was discovered that a crew member who has a travel history to countries with cases of the coronavirus was placed in isolation aboard the vessel. We saw that there was somebody there who is in quarantine because that person came from the Philippines and the 14 days have not elapsed, Public Relations and Advocate Officer at the Northeast Regional Health Authority, Janice White, said. They have that person in quarantine, but that was not told to us before the ship docked. So as part of our public health standard and regulation handed down by the Ministry of Health and how we deal with communicable diseases, we did not allow persons to leave the ship, White explained. She said currently there is no coronavirus threat to Jamaica or Jamaicans, as no one from the ship has been allowed to leave, and there is a possibility that no passenger or crew member will be allowed on land. According to the MSC schedule, the MSC Meraviglia would have left Miami on February 23, and after spending a day in international waters, would dock in Ocho Rios on February 25 at 9 a.m. and depart at 5 p.m. The vessel is then scheduled to continue its Caribbean cruise, heading firstly to Grand Cayman and then to Mexico and the Bahamas. The MSC Meraviglia has a capacity to carry 5,400 passengers and a crew of 1,500. Hopewell residents plea for police post. Following the murders of 2 men who were shot and killed at the same location, just days apart in the township of Hopewell in Annaville, concerned residents and the several community group leaders are renewing their call for a police post. The residents called on Superintendent Sharon Beeput, commanding officer for the parish, to honor a promise and start the construction of the post in the community. A number of group leaders said that following a recent upsurge of murders in the community starting from 2019, they met with Beeput and lobbied for a police post. It was then decided that the electoral office compound located at the entrance to Pond Peace Community was a designated location where the police post was suitable to be constructed. That promise, residents say, seems to have been placed on hold, and the community was once again overshadowed with gloom following the murders of 28-year-old Damien Buchanan and the 29-year-old Sheldon Hines. They were killed on Sunday, February 9 and Wednesday, February 12, both in Hopewell Square. A police post was well needed months ago, and following these recent murders, we have all agreed that the police post is long overdue for Hopewell. Derek Wright, Justice of the Peace and President of the Hopewell Citizens Association, said. We recently met with Superintendent Beeput, who assured us that a police post was to be erected on top of the electoral office in Hopewell, but months have now passed and we are still not seeing anything. He noted that there was a murder committed on the compound of the Hopewell Mall, and now 2 more murders have been committed in the square. We believe that if the police post was in place, those killings could have been avoided. Also, we are seeing the police presence in Hopewell area, but we as members of the Citizens Association think the police must not only show themselves, but they need to carry out a lot more vehicular and body searches of community members, he said. Another concerned community leader, Walter Walker, a former Jamaica Defense Force JDF officer and the community sports leader in Hopewell, said the police post was needed. It is needed especially in times like these, when we are seeing an increase in community murders. Also, the police need to spend more time in Hopewell community and to carry out more effective community policing, Walker said. Hopewell is the fastest growing community in Hanover, and the police need to erect the police post and blend within the community in order to flush out these criminals and curb crime. When contacted, BPUT said that the police are still honoring their end of the bargain. Things like this take a little time, and we have now reached the lease agreement process, and we hope to start the construction of the police post in short order, BPUT stated. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.